What's up, y'all? It's Jam and Sam, and today we're going to continue to restore the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past soundtrack. And so I'm starting a new project for this one because I feel like the other ones are getting kind of cluttered. Even though some of these, I just feel like there's too much automation going on. Um, and so I'd like to kind of start fresh with a new project for this song. And this song will be let's see, which song are we doing today? Well, we're gonna do more than one song, I can guarantee you, because the next few are really short, or they're really simple, so it's not gonna take long at all. Anyway, let's see, Lost Ancient. Guessing Game House is next. So that one uses some new instruments anyway, so we'll drop that in. I'm gonna drop that MIDI in. Don't start a new project. Channel type MIDI out. We can delete these channels with Alt Delete, Enter. And let's see, the first thing, let's play the SBC. The first channel we have is, hold on. So we have woodwinds to start out, I think. Let me play it from the beginning. And then we switch to a piano. That's this right here. Okay, so to start off, I can tell we have a little bit of complicated rhythm things going on here. So first we have a change in rhythm, so we want to put a time marker and say, I'm going to say 4/4 for now because I don't know. Like, no, yes, I don't care. So it starts right here. This is so it's like da 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 da. I don't even know if you guys can hear that. Yeah, you can hear that. So it has a little bit of like a 3/4 kind of sting intro, and then it just kind of goes 4/4. But it's not really traditionally in 3/4 because it does this thing where it's like triplets until the end of the measure. But the bass is doing like a straight 4/4 thing. But this the melody is just doing a little bit of a polyrhythm thing because it's doing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then it kind of hiccups like just with this dum, and then it starts over again. So we have like a polyrhythm going on, with a 4/4 in the bass and a triplet in the melody. So what I want to do is start with the flute, which goes up until here. Let's just take the whole thing for now. And then the piano is from the Akai S1000. So make a new pattern, call it flute and piano, or just call it melody. And we want to correct this drift here. Hola, what's up? Hi. Anyway, I think this is getting annoying, so I'll stop. So that was just kind of to get the original in my head a little bit. In my head. But what I want to do now is kind of quantize everything. So let me quantize the start time so that the duration is that we kind of keep this duration. And then what I want to do is where it changes to the piano, I want to go and say change it to channel 2 because I have that piano in there and it's going to channel 2. So we highlight it all and change the color to channel 2. Then it'll should automatically go there. Gotta go up an octave. But we have another shift. Let me see. Actually, I think this might be in a different. No, wait, because I didn't add the. I need to add the channel marker, the time signature marker here. So here we go. Actually, I think this should still be the flute. And the piano, I don't know if that's the right octave. Let me see. I think it's an octave lower. Okay. And now let's check out the harmony that we have going on. What is the next channel? So we have another piano. I think it stays that piano for the whole time. So let's copy that and then go to first and let's call this bass. And we can keep the same channel for now. I'm not worried about changing it until we actually need to. So let me go Alt-C to change it to that channel. And then let's correct our drift. Control-A to select all, and then drag this arrow, stretch it to the grid, and then quick quantize start times. And remember, we got to go an octave down. Okay, so let's check that out. And I don't know if that's just because it's one sample. Yeah, I think that's actually like the right octave. I think it's because we pushed, and that last one we pushed everything up an octave, and then it's like, oh wait, we actually got to put the flute back down. Cool. So now let's go to the next channel. Okay, we got a horn here. And some strings. So which horn is this? It's definitely not the typical like lead brass. I think that's those trombones. So let's add those in and then go and copy the riff, which is the third channel. And let's make a new one. Let's call this brass and strings. Now let's stretch it in. And then let's quick quantize the start times. Okay, so that's good for that. But we need a chain. Now we need the strings. So, and I think it stays that way for the strings the whole time. Let me see. Let's change this to channel 3 because I'm going to add the strings in on channel 3. Oh, wait. It returns to the brass sound. But this one, this trombone that I have is a multi-sample. So, I got this from from the spreadsheet that was online, the video game things that like sound sources that is linked in my in all of my videos for a link to the past. And it provides 3 samples. It like the first time you hear it is the game sample, and then every other one, and then after that is the corresponding synthesizer sample. But I tried with the VST of the synthesizer in question, which was mentioned as the D50, but it just doesn't quite sound right, and it didn't sound right the last time I used it. So we're looking at, I think it was 8 to 5 bones. Here we go, bones. Wait, actually, that kind of does sound right. That should sound good. That might sound good enough for these purposes. Yeah, that sounds good enough, I think. We might have to disable some of the layers though. But it sounds good like it is. But I think I want them to be louder though, because this synth, a lot of the Roland synths just don't hit loud enough. Just don't play loud enough. Let me see. I don't know why it's not working, like it wasn't working last time, but I might just change it out because the last time we've only used this sound once before in the soundtrack so far. And that was for just the Time of the Falling Rain, where there was like that lead brass patch, but I might change it out because now for some reason this patch is working fine now. Let me see if I can disable. There's a reverb in there that I don't want because it's an old reverb. I want to use a modern reverb, and so let's see if I can figure out how to disable it. I figured it out once before, but let me see. Hmm. TVA, TVF. Um. Oh, look, there's a vector thing here. Let me loop this part so I can see what I'm doing. I don't want it. Hmm. Let me listen to the in-game one. Yeah, that sounds pretty good, like it is in the middle. Okay. But how to disable the reverb, because I really don't like that reverb. Um. Oh, here we go. This is chorus. I thought I saw chorus and I thought maybe that's like the FX section. Ah, here we go, reverb. Wait. Reverb balance 0. There we go. Cool. Anyway, let's see. Okay, so we have the brass patch, and I think it's working out pretty well for the second half too. So now we just need the strings, and the strings are already pointing to the right channel, but now I just need to add them in. And then we need to bring it up an octave. And I really, first of all, I want to bring all this down to normal velocity because it's going to sound too loud in the full mix, I think. Let me do Alt X and just keep doing Alt X across the board. Cool. So next channel is, let's see. This is one of those, more of that piano bass. Okay, so that looks good. Now we can quick quantize the start times. And then also Alt-C to change it to the same channel. Okay, so let's see how that sounds. Very hyperactive. Cool. So let me add that time marker here so I can see kind of, here we go. And then here too, because, well, here actually, no wait, the brass is doing something, isn't it? Do I not have the ghost channels enabled? Ghost channels, there we go. I don't know how that got disabled. But I want to have a marker here as well. Okay, so the next channel is, I think it's the last channel. Another piano. And it's pretty much just a second piano layer for the intro and the second melody. So we can go ahead and drop that in here. And then we just drag it into alignment. Quantize start times, and oh, I still have to change the levels, scale the levels for this. Okay. And then Alt-C to change it all to the same channel, and that's one fast piano player. Okay, now we can layer it all together. So first I want to take the MIDI to make sure that I'm staying, like the tempo is being automated, and then add the melody, add the brass and strings, and then add the piano bass. Why is there a piano note in there? I think I have one of the notes wrong. Weird. Interesting. Oh, I think that's one of something the strings is doing. No, the melody. Oh, it's a change in presence of the piano because it's changing samples. No, it's actually not. Oh wait. Oh yeah, it's because that piano note is louder than the rest of them. Okay, so what I want to do to remedy that is just go into the contact patch and sort of just take down the volume of that one piano sample. Let's see, start and mapping. I gotta stick to mapping. There we go, that's a lot better. But it still sounds like a change in presence, and it's kind of noticeable. So maybe, can I just delete that? Or maybe I can layer those two samples together, and it still works. No. I'm just going to delete that one. There we go. There we go, that works. So that's pretty much everything is laid out. Now I want to make sure that I've got the panning right. Is there any panning for any of this song? I think it's all center. No, it's all pretty much mono. Cool. That makes my job easier. So anyway, we can delete this. Okay. Let's see. So anyway, now all I need to do is is mix it together. So let me go and take let me make sure that everything has the right levels though. That flute needs to be louder. So now I think what I need to do is give everything a mixer track. So we can start off contact. Contact is at mixer track 1, so let's call his flute. This will be the flute track. Flute. And then we need one for the, what's the next one? The strings. The bones and the piano. So we're going to send the piano to a separate mixer track, separate out, and then the strings to a separate out. And we're going to send this to, map this out to 3 and 4 because it's stereo, so it needs 2. And then we send this to 5 and 6. And then let's see, the strings have to go to the very next one. And then the piano has to go to the one after that. So we have to skip one because we need the bones. Let's name this bones too. There we go. So now everything has a mixture track. Now we just need to mix it. So let's see. And I don't know what happened to my reverb, but I'm going to have to add a reverb bus. Let's do reverb, and then we can definitely want the flute and the strings to have reverb, and the bones have a little reverb, I think, but then the piano probably doesn't, because let me review all that. There's no noticeable reverb in the SBC, which means I only want very light reverb throughout. So what I want to do is just put everything into that reverb bus and then put a slight reverb just to give it some room. Now the room that we're in is a fairly small room, so we just want to kind of emulate that. We're going to put it a light reverb, and then it's going to be down to like room. So we have a small room, which means it decays fast. But those bones still sound like they're kind of synthy. So let me kind of adjust the vector and see what I get. And actually, I can probably press a key here. I don't have my MIDI keyboard set up, but I might be able to press a key. There we go. It stops typing whenever I do that. Let me just loop that part then. For some reason now it's not letting me shift the thing this way, like to the right and the left, but let me see what I can do about that. I think that's the problem with the patches. It sounds pretty synthy on the VST. So, but I don't really want to use. I kind of wanted to use a VST version, but I think if I disable one of these, it kind of makes it sound less synthy. Yeah, that's solid. Because there is a synth patch that is like, let me see. That kind of models the original machine, and it like the patch sounded pretty nice. Let me see if I can pull it up and play it. Actually, that does sound pretty synthy now that I hear it a second time. But there might be some things we can do to make it sound better. And because it still sounds a little iffy, but let me see what I can do. I definitely don't need to add any chorus on it. Let me try some saturation, because one thing that the SNES did to this tune is, like, this instrument, is it made it feel like more aggressive. Nah, that's... let me try wave shaping, because that, I think, is going to give it a little more character. That sounds a little better. I'm gonna also put an exciter on that, because every 80s sample needs an exciter, because it just sounds kind of pale. Let me see. Where did my... Okay, there it is. Ah, wrong one. Let me also do a little EQing on that, just to make it sound better. And then listen to the one in the game. I think the exciter does it without the wave shaper actually. It almost doesn't even sound like the patch because the physical machine, like that, what you heard from Synthmania is like the physical machine. So let me check and make sure that like that was the actual listed um listed source. You've already raised. Very cool to see your process. Glad you like it. Good evening. What's up? What's up? No name. Welcome. I need to play LTTP again, but not sure if I could get 0, 0, 0, or 0, 0, 1 times played. Lucky to get under 10 times played. Oh, I don't know what that means. Let me see. Oh, Zelda. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's the D550, so I don't know. Let me see. It says Bank 8. Oh, it doesn't go. Okay, that is the, yeah. Okay. I guess it's just a product of the loop point that makes it sound like that. But I tried to accentuate that because it has like this sort of all this nasally feel. Yeah, that sounds pretty good like that. And then let's accentuate those highs because, you know, 80 samples don't have a ton. But it still sounds more like brass than the game does. I just kind of want to accentuate that sounds really good because if you accentuate those kind of middle frequencies, it really kind of gets that tone that they had in the game. Maybe they might have even EQ'd it a little bit to put it in the game. That sounds good. Okay, we can move on from that. I want to also that's good enough reverb. I don't want to overdo it on the reverb. It's just that it sounds like the bones have more reverb than the than anything else. So let me give it its own reverb, and let's see. And let me dial that up to 20, which is double what the original had. So, and let me now send this straight to the master. Cool. That makes sense, right? Yeah, that sounds like it has the right level of reverb. Now this piano, I think, is next because it kind of is the most important part after that. Oh, why is it being sent to strings? So let me listen to that piano in the SPC. All the piano channels together. Now this is going to sound pretty different because it's playing the same sample across the board and it's using a lot of different octaves. It's using a lot of bass and it's a treble sample. So it's doing a lot of transposition, but we're using a full patch. So it's going to sound different. I think it has a little more reverb than I was led on to believe. So maybe this default reverb of 20 is like good. Yeah, that'll do good. Which means I can disable this and send the bones to this channel. So now this piano, if we disable this this flute, I can do some cool stuff to this. Now, one thing that makes this piano sound unnatural is that there's no release on it. So yeah, I need to give it a release in Contact. And this is because like Contact really just, when you convert it to a Contact instrument, it doesn't take an envelope. It just takes, you know, whatever is the sample. So the samples are playing raw, but we want a little bit of release on that. Actually, it looks like there is some. No, there's none. But there's a little bit, but it's not enough. Actually, I thought that would be enough, but it's not. That sounds a little more natural. See, that sounds a little more natural. It's not so like start and stop. So let me also go a step further and randomize the velocities a little bit. Cool, that sounds good. So let's get to this flute next. And not much needs to be done to this, actually. It sounds pretty pretty unnatural in the SBC, but we don't want it to sound unnatural like that. We want it to sound. I do think it sounds plenty natural in the thing. Yeah, we just need in the patch. We just need to put an exciter on it, like we do everything. There we go. Was there any vibrato on it? I can't remember. No, no vibrato at all. Cool, that sounds like pretty much like a natural flute. So let's go to these strings now. Oh, I muted the channel. Definitely need an exciter on that. And in the SPC, it sounds like... So it sounds pretty unnatural in the SPC, but let's give it a little bit of a natural... Oh wait, is that the right octave? Let me see. Sounds like it might need to be a lower octave. I mean, a higher octave. Oh yeah, there you go. So someone might have even mentioned that, but I haven't been reading the chat. Okay, nobody mentioned it. Good. Nobody saw that. Awesome job. Thank you. Welcome. Let's see. Cool, that sounds much better. But it still sounds a little bit unnatural. So we want to give it like it's kind of start and stop but since this is an articulation, like a short articulation, I want to give it an envelope that is kind of shorter. So I mean, to me, even in the game, it sounds like a synthesizer, but I don't want it to sound like a synthesizer. I want it to sound natural. So let's give it an envelope where it's like... What am I, is this? Oh, I'm doing the flute. No, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna make sure I didn't mess up the flute anyway. I think I kind of did. It had an envelope on it to make it more natural, but now it doesn't. It had a little bit of a tack on it. Good. That sounds better. Let me do the strings now properly. It also sounds like it has too much highs, and that's not because of the exciter, because the exciter just makes the highs more like... It makes them more exciting. It basically makes it like takes a dull sample and makes it exciting. But what I want to do is kind of dampen the highs like this. Wait, what? What is this? Oh, I'm doing the flute again. Wow. FL Studio really doesn't want me to edit these strings. Okay. So now that the exciter kind of like distorts the highs, it kind of saturates them a bit so that you can kind of hear it a bit more better. It gives the illusion of higher quality. And actually, I think it's not so much that it's too sharp in one area, because you can see there's like this, it's got a lot of presence, but we don't want it to have that much presence. See, we want those really highs because it kind of gives the sample fidelity, but we don't want so much presence that kind of pierces our ears too much. It doesn't make it pleasant to listen to. It makes it sound kind of ugly and like a scream kind of. And I want to make this patch kind of warmer because we want the strings to sound exciting, but not like it was still pleasant to listen to. So. Cool. So that sounds pretty good. Now let me try experimenting with the envelope a little bit to give it some more naturalness. Oh, actually, I never actually like messed with the envelope at all. It still sounds pretty unnatural. Give it a little bit of attack. So that's good, and I want to give it a little more release because it's just got to emulate that sort of like short. Because even if the string players have it are on the bow the whole time, even if they're not detaching the bow from, they still have to like sort of go in and out with the volume. So I like it with a little bit of release on it. So we would either have to make this give it a little bit of slide because they're connect the notes, or make the notes shorter. I don't want to make it too short because it just sounds too different, but I want it to sound natural. And the notes sound pretty short. They just don't have an envelope on them because might have taken a long time to put an envelope like that on it. There we go. Cool, and I want to try to experiment with a little bit of chorus too, because the static sounds a little bit like that's no that the patch sounds a little bit static. So let me give it a default chorus at half speed or half effect. There you go. That makes it sound a little more dynamic. And let me randomize the levels a bit. And I think I wanted to, now that the envelope is shorter, I wanted to have a little more release. Cool, that sounds good. Let me check on that. Yeah. All right, so, and I don't want any vibrato on there. I think by default I have some vibrato on this patch. And so let me disable that. Cool. That sounds good. Now let me kind of revisit this. I want to kind of revisit this trombones patch. And like meaning that I want to try to figure out how to do something with the envelope on here. So let's see, select patch. I want to I think this will help me. Okay, I think we reconnected. So anyway, I want to try to find an amplitude envelope. I think I have to go here. I think this is what a TVA is. Let me see. Actually, I think I think I know why this patch is short, because there's like one of the layers in this trombone patch is short. Let me see. It might be because the sustain is all the way down. It's like there really is no like there's no sustain on that. No sustain on this either. Oh wait, oops. I think I messed some stuff up. I think, yeah, this is what it was on. And I think I did find a way to sustain one of them. Yeah, this one is sustaining now. Oh no, it's just because I had the other one enabled. So let me see about this one. So now what I kind of want to do is make it where there's a short attack to this, kind of. So let me take, I think this is the sustain. Let me take that down. Nope. Ah, there it is. This must be decay, right? Ah, no, that's attack. Cool, that works. But it says T3 should be sustained, so... But it's not sustaining. And I do actually want some attack on this next layer, so that we don't hear it so much as a... Cool. I think I kind of messed something up. Let me refresh the patch. But now I need to disable that that reverb again. There we go. I think that does actually make it a lot better. Let me see if I can make it, if I can disable the chorus too, because I know there's a lot of chorus on that, and that's giving it like a, oh, the balance is off. So let me see, yeah, the balance is off for that. So it's just really just a synthy sounding patch. And these EQ things might have been what they messed with to get it sounding like it does in the game. Like if I do... Yeah, I don't think it changes much. But it is quieter now. Let me kind of raise the volume. Cool. So... Nice. I think I do want a little bit more fundamental on this, because like now that I've raised everything up, it's kind of decreased the fundamental. There we go. Maybe not that strong. There we go, that's good. So let's play it all in succession now. Nice. What thumbnail do I have for this? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, nice. I think that brass patch might need to be louder. Let me check that second half. No, actually, I barely even hear the brass patch. I mostly hear the piano. So I might want to raise the velocity in that part, because I hear the brass patch in the beginning. It's like... Let me see, was that... Did that flute like disappear in the beginning? No. But I do want to bring the trombones down. And let me put my mastering channel on it now that I have everything in place. We want to see how healthy the waveform looks. And to be honest, I can raise everything up because it's... There we go. So the only problem is that at the there's not a lot of bass, but I think there is a lot. Supposed to be more bass in the original. Yeah, the bass is like stronger. So, and I remember I said the piano sounded a bit weak, so maybe the piano needs to be a bit louder. And I think I want a little bit more sharpness on that bass piano. So let me go and split the piano channel. Add another. Let's see, where's my piano? There we go. So this one's gonna go into a different master out, and that's gonna go to, let's see. This one, yeah, this one's a new one. 7 and 8. And 7 and 8 will be routed to 4. But actually, I want it to be 5 because that's going to be this one right here. And now I have to send the bass piano to that one. So I can just send all these really, because all these are just... So let me send that to 4, I think it was. There we go. And what I want to do is like bust this into the piano channel, but I just want to give it some extra brightness before it gets there. So let's call this bass piano. And let me do the same thing as I did with one of those other, with the strings. Let me make it a little darker, because there's a lot of presence on this. A lot of these 80s samples tended to have a lot of presence, or like a lot of high middle, and like not strong enough like bass and stuff like that. So, or like not strong enough high treble. So we can correct that. See, now that sounds nice and crisp, and I might also want to add some saturation just for a little bit more excitement in the low end. There we go. There we go. That sounds good. I'll probably want to take this down later, but we'll see how it sounds first. And actually that bass is a little bit too, like the treble part of the bass piano is hitting too loud. Because remember that sample, like the one sample that they used ended up being really dark in the low end, and that worked in their favor because now you didn't have so much like competition for the bass notes. You can make them loud without actually, because they don't have a lot of brightness, so they didn't interfere with the middle a lot. And I still have a little bit of room to move around, so I just want to raise everything up a couple decibels. Cool, now that sounds good. I like the way that sounds. I'll let you guys listen to it and then I'll save it. Sounds like the piano has a little bit of left pan. That was not in the original. Everything's mono in the original, but I think the piano patch might have a little bit of left pan. So let me correct that just a bit. It sounds, I could also, it's in the patch, but what I can do is kind of merge the stereo samples because it sounds like what they did was what a lot of patch artists do. They put the bass pan more to the left and then the treble pan more to the right, but I can kind of take that away by merging it like a little hiccup in the internet. But it happened at the perfect time because now we can, it was right in between songs. So now we can go on to the next one, which is the fortune teller. This one should be extremely easy because it's only just an organ and a little synth patch, so it shouldn't be hard. Let's see. Hey. Okay, so we're it's just like literally just an organ patch, and I think that's a harp in there. I guess we're about to find out. Because this, oh, it stops if you don't use the thing. I'm pretty sure that's the harp. Yeah. So let me see. Let me make sure the internet's going straight. Yeah, it's still going good. Okay. Let's see. So what I want to do is drag in the MIDI. Let me see. Why isn't it giving me my buses? Because I have a template with the buses. So stupid that it just stopped creating. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we don't need these. Alt delete. So now these are two, this is like an organ with delay on it. So it has a delay of half a step. And I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the harp here, but we're going to find out. So, and this is in like the organ patch is stored in octaves. So what I want to do is load contact and say, let me make sure stuff is going right. Okay. So I want to put it in, make it play octaves in context, so I can use the delay slash fat mode plug, like a feature. And so I set it to set the feed to 100, change the echoes to 1, change the time to 0. So now it's just going to play me octaves. No, now it's going to play me octaves because I put the pitch all the way up. And so what I do is load the organ patch, attack organ, and then copy this line, and I think it's just a loop, so I can really just kind of delete the first, like all but the first bar. So let me call this pattern organ. Let me Alt C to change it to the default channel. And yeah, it's pretty much just a loop. So just remove this. And I want to quantize the start times to make sure that everything is like exactly on time. But it's too low, so let me put it up a couple octaves. I'm not sure if that's the right octave, and if is it actually playing in octaves? Because, yeah, it is. Yeah. There we go, that's the octave. Actually, no, it's not playing in octaves, it's playing in like sevenths or something, perfect fifths. So if I can change the pitch to plus 700 cents. No, it's not, it's playing in perfect fifths. So if I change the 500 cents, or playing fourths, not fifths. Now if I go up an octave, I think. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. No, 6. It should be. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it should be 5. It's either going to be 5 or 7. I think that's right, actually. Yeah. I think that sounds better than let me copy this value because it's hard to kind of get it to. Yeah, I think that is. I think it might be an octave and a perfect fifth. So let me see. Or no, maybe it is the fourth. Yeah, the fourth, and it's definitely a fourth. Or a fifth, I mean. No, it is a fourth. I get confused because a fourth is 500 cents up, but a fifth is 700. And I feel like, I don't know if it's just really bassy or if there might be an octave under that. Let me see. Let me actually take this off, and because we don't have a lot of notes, I can just do this manually because it sounds like we have some complicated stuff going on. So let me do like that. And then I'll try adding an octave under that. No, I don't think that's what's happening. I think it's just got a lot of bass in it. And then it's got an envelope on it. So let's see, it's which is unusual for an organ, which means it's like not true, truly supposed to be an organ. It's like a synthesizer. Oh wait, no. But you can't see that, but you hear how it's like a sharp pluck, but then it fades out slow, so that means it's like got a curve to it. So the curve would be like, okay, and it has that, and it has some reverb on it, so let me add that in. And actually, I can just use the bus here. It doesn't matter. This is an accompaniment, so let me send it here. Let me replace this with a better reverb, like a more physical reverb. And this is also a small room, so let me just do like that. But actually, I think this one is this has a bigger reverb than the last song. Maybe it might just be in my imagination, but that should be good. And I also feel like it has a little bit of attack on it, like it's not so sharp. It's like got a soft hit kind of. Oops, this is not the But now that curve is coming back to bite us because we need it to be, I need it to be like able to do, one of those things. It needs to be like this. There we go. And then it has a delay channel on it. So let's see what that's all about. Cool. And remember, we said it was a half a step. So let's add fruity delay 3. And then it's going to be half of a step. Let's give it some stereo separation. Keep the pitch. Diffuse it a little bit. Cut it off a little bit. Cool, that sounds good. Perfect. Let me see which. Oh, nice. You do it by ear. Yeah, I do the mixing by ear, and I do the MIDI stuff is from the ROM. So it's all like crudely kind of converted hexadecimal data from the ROM, the original data, and it's crudely converted to MIDI. So I'm not analyzing the pitches by ear, but I am analyzing the mixing by ear because I want it to be sound like it's in the studio environment. But remember, it does have a little bit of bass to it, so I want to accentuate that. It has a little bit more bass to it in the game. And now, as with all these 80 samples, we want to put an exciter on it. So, there we go. That sounds really good. Cool. Now there's this harp thing. I think it's a harp. It's either the harp or the like bell, the glockenspiel. So let's see which one fits better. We have this line that is, well, first off we have this one. Let's see. It's doing like a yeah, it's like a little synth line. Let's copy that. And then we go to a new pattern and call this the harp. And it might actually be the glockenspiel, because that sounds like a little bit more like the Glock line. Let's try the Glocken first. We can compare them kind of side by side. Let's add both. It's got to be an octave up. Let's align the pitch kind of. And it's in triplets actually. So this is like a polyrhythm, or the whole thing is in triplets. I don't know. The whole thing is in triplets. I don't know. So yeah, that pretty much aligns with the grid. That sounds good. Let's try with the harp. Let's see what the harp sounds like. I think it's definitely the glockenspiel. Yeah, that one fits more. So now I don't know yet if I want it to act like a real one, because this is like kind of doing some kind of crazy exotic synth stuff. So I'm gonna add the rest of the line and see what I want to do from there. Let me add just one bar of this. Let me call this Glock. Oh, it's the harp and the glockenspiel. So first layer is the Glock, and then the next layer is the harp. Cool. So let's add the harp back then. And let's cut it. And paste. Cool. So the harp is doing this kind of, while the glockenspiel is doing like this kind of pentatonic thing that's like a whole, or like a whole tone. Well, not really whole tone, more like a pentatonic. It's doing like a whole tone thing. And I think it definitely doesn't act like a glockenspiel because he would have had it like spread out, you know. He would have had the notes ring out more if that were the case. So it's a really short little like blip. It's almost supposed to sound exotic, I think, like a Asian instrument. So let me give it 0 sustain. I think this might even be an octave up higher. Yes. There we go. Let me give it a little more decay. I feel like it's supposed to be like kind of an Asian bell thing because it's doing one of those this is kind of the scale that they use in like a lot of Chinese music, a lot of traditional Chinese music. It was like it did this kind of, you know, black keys thing. They call it like it's like the black keys scale, but it played on the black keys. And a lot of Asian music did that, so I think it might be like a thing like that. But let me get the whole rest of the line. Now this thing is supposed to have reverb because if you listen to the SBC, you can kind of hear it. You can kind of hear it reverberate out. So I'm gonna go and give it its own track. Actually, name this organ because the organ already has its own track. And then I'm gonna put this in lead reverb bus and call this like let's make this a regular reverb and give it 20%. There we go. Cool. Now this harp, let's kind of isolate this harp and say now this harp has some like dissonant stuff going on because it's not playing, see it's like playing a, it's not even playing a scale. Wait, no, actually it is. It's playing like a no, it's just got an accidental or it's kind of playing a scale, but it's actually it's directly dissonant. It has no relation to the whatsoever to the line that's being played before. So this is like not even the same scale at all, and it's like playing dissonant notes at times. So it's like sort of like a confusing, weird sound. So okay, so this line is different. This line is playing in like triplets. So it's playing in 3/4. So what I need to do is let's see. Hold on. Oh, here's the repeat right here. So what I need to do is give it its own channel. Let me call this harp. Its own pattern. And then put this in 3/4. So in addition to being in a different scale, it's also a polyrhythm. Actually, it's even shorter than that. Oh, I just need to double it, that's all. So but I feel like it's more sustaining than that. It's not like fading out. It's like I'm gonna make it behave like a harp though. Let's see, and it's gonna have like a lot of release. So what I need to do now is send this to a mixer track and give it reverb. I'm gonna send it to the same bus as before, and give it some give it an exciter. There we go. That's beautiful. And the Glock I don't think needs anything. Maybe it could benefit from a little bit of excitement. But I don't want it to be ringing too high, like, because those frequencies get a little weird. So I want to put a little bit of a low pass on the very high highs, just to kind of soften that up a bit. So now, I think I want a little bit more on the highs, actually. But I don't want to do that too much because it starts to give it like some compression sounds, but let me just raise, there we go. That sounds so much better. So now if we combine these two together, so first we got to add the organ. Oh, well, actually, first we have to add the MIDI. Then we add the block. And you can see it kind of lines up there. And then we add the harp, just doing its own thing. Oh, I thought that sounded a little bit like wrongly dissonant. It's because I have the MIDI playing. Okay, so the glockenspiel and the harp are just a little bit too loud. Actually, it's mostly just the harp that's too loud. So now if we just raise everything up to where it like kind of peaks. Actually, I really mostly want the organ to be louder. And I think that one of those things just sound too harsh. One of those. Might be this one. I think it was that one, yeah. Maybe this one to some extent too. Okay, so let me see first of all what y'all are saying. Would you cover other LEZ tracks with these samples for the? Yeah, we're doing the whole soundtrack. So I'm going through the whole soundtrack in order, and all the tracks are going to be covered. So you're going to be able to have like an MSU patch and play it with the game with this music on the game in an emulator. So that'll be exciting. Um, but let me play the full track in the original and see how it kind of stacks up. Okay, I just feel like that organ has more reverb even. Let's see. And I think nothing in here has panning, so yeah, it's all mono. So cool. And then I forgot an ending on the last one. We might have to go back to the last one and add an ending. So, but let me add an ending to this one. Dun, 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 dun. So for this one, it's like, let me try this. Here, let me copy this again and like make that the ending. So we'll take all this down and then this will be the ending. Let me do like a chromatic walk-up thing. Back to the first note. Dun dun dun. Beautiful. And then, how do you resolve this? I do not know. Let's see. Well, this is a scale, so that's not hard, but the harp is going to be what's difficult. Where does this want to go? And let me actually, I want to try to do kind of some funky stuff with this. But let me actually do that with an actual delay instead so I can get that sort of realism. So let me add a delay, but disable it until the ending. But I have to enable it right at the time it starts, or I'm going to catch some of the other notes. keep pitch. Nice. Spread it out a little bit, cut it off. There we go. Nice. And then the harp can be there. Let me take these down so it looks nicer. And then the harp can be, where does that want to go? Okay, so it's going in it does have a pattern here. It's going doom, doom, doom. This is like a whole tone. So if we go whole tone, doom. So if we do like that, I think it works. Oh yeah, it loops back to the organs only. Oh. Cool. Yeah, you don't, thanks, almost forgot about the loop point. So what I want to do is kind of, let me just Control B to loop it. And then kind of do away with all this. Oh, wait. Nice. Okay, well that'll do it for that track. Very short, succinct track. And let me save this as, actually I'll play it while you guys can listen to it while I do this. Perfect. Okay, now we can move on to, let me see if anybody has any. Nobody has any objections. We can move on to the next one, which is, what is the next one? Soldiers of Kuriko Village. This is what happens whenever this is what plays when the soldiers attack you if you talk to one of the villagers. And they are like, hey, I found this wanted guy. And one little soldier comes after you and he's not even that strong. So this is what plays. Okay, someone said the organs still have a bit of that weird clicking sound at the start. Let me... That's okay because we're using the full sample. Like, it's not gonna be... I'm not gonna take out the click because it's a good dynamic to have. It's like this start of an organ. Another thing I could probably do is I might be able to see if it needs more attack, but I don't think so. Let me check it again. It could use a little more attack, actually. Let me try that. Maybe a little less than that. Maybe about 20. Maybe 15. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I think it did need a little bit of a softer attack. And they're gonna have that clicking sound because it's part of the sample. When they put it into the game, they took out the click and just used a, because if you look at the organ sample here, they just used one vibration really. It's mostly just one vibration. But we want to use the full sample here where we can, so it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter, except for, unless, well, this is supposed to be more of a synth, so maybe I can just kind of make it start at the middle of the synth and it'll sound good. Let me see. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, I think it sounds softer. And maybe we give it a little bit more. Yeah, it had a little bit of that more middle character in the original. But one sample is still doing that thing. And I think this loop here is imperfect. Yes. I think that fixed it. That's the right note, right? There we go. But there's a little bit of pop at the sample start, so let me try to change that around. There we go. Yeah, because I think there is, like, with an organ, you can do like a no percussive sound. Like you can take out the percussive sound. So maybe that's kind of what he wanted to do. Because he's not quite using a full, he's not quite sticking to, it still has a little bit of a transient to it, just not very much. There we go. Cool. Nice, thanks. Always good to have people that grew up with it to say, hey, this would sound better. All right, so we can save this, and then let me drag in the other MIDI in, which is the soldiers. Oh wait, I have to start a new project if I want the Okay, oh wow, so this is actually not that complicated of a song. Wait a minute. It doesn't have that intro like that. Da 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 dee. No, wait, what is this? This is not. Oh, the MIDI got transcribed wrong. This is like a different song. What? Um, let me go and try to export it again. Maybe I exported it wrong. So if I go to VGM trans, drop it in, and then go to the sequence, right click, save as MIDI. And then replace over that. No, what? That's weird. So it gives me the sequence of a different song. Let me see what happens if I save it as a different one. Let me save it as this one with a 2 on it. That is really weird. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is just transcribe it by ear, really. Since there's no, I can't create a MIDI of this. So this will be the first time I've ever had to transcribe something by ear. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it doesn't work, but let's see. We have Soldiers of Kuriko Village. Ah, stupid computer. So let's just focus on this first channel here. Well, first let's take our tempo. It seems like it's like 110. But this sweep here I'm not sure I can like accurately recreate this sweep, but I'll do what I have to. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. So it kind of does a gallop thing. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Yeah, it just doesn't, for some reason it doesn't it has the MIDI transcription of a different song in there. That's weird. So anyway, let me try to let me close out VGM trans. Let me try to get this. I'm gonna go with this chronologically. So let me try to get that this is the brass section I need, right? Oh wait. Let me try to get that that initial intro, right? That like da-na-na-na-na-na. So the first note we have is a what? So dun. It's a G. So let's see, G. So we start out with a G. And I don't know how long the note has to last, but you know, worry about that later. And the second note is a okay, cool. So it's going up in like what is it called? Tritones to make dissonance. So and that the tritones are gonna be like it just means it's gonna let me see. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't know that yet. Okay, so it doesn't go up. It doesn't quite go up. It does its own thing. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. So I'm gonna try using that for now. So it's another G here. And an A sharp. But it should be like da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Oh wait, there's another channel. Hold on. Last channel is E. Da-dum, da-da-da-da. Okay, so that's pretty loud. Let me take all these down, make it stop at like 1 point. But it's also I feel like it should be faster, like dun 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 dun. That would be way too fast. Let me try this. There's not enough time in between the changes. Let's see. Oh wow. FL Studio likes to do this thing where when I want to undo something, it takes me out of the focus whenever I undo. I think it really just needs to be faster is all. Too fast. And it lasts for too long. So we have that intro. I'm currently checking my own converted MIDIs and a few other tracks that also have the wrong track. Okay, thank you. I will await your instructions. Find a MIDI that works, then I can stop transcribing it. And so that's a good draft for the intro. Let's call this intro. And then so let's go through this now channel by channel. So we have that same brass patch. Oh, it actually highlights what note it's playing too. So D sharp. Let's try this. Let's try these 16th notes. Because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. But not that fast. So maybe cut in half. So maybe there's a tempo change then. So let's see. There's probably, so let's paste the stupid. Let's paste this intro at 150 for now. And then let's try to sample our tempo here. Cool, that works. Let's paste that here for now. Let's paste 120. Oh, it's slower than that. There's also like a velocity thing going on here. It's, hold on. Let me slow down the tempo first. Dun 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 dun. So it's bum bum. It's kind of like that. And it's actually slower, even slower than that. Like 105. Or that last one isn't as strong of a note. And then it goes down, so it's like. Cool. So it just repeats that kind of, and the envelope here is different. So what I want to do is make a new channel and make these like a shorts kind of thing. There's a little bit of attack there too. little bit more attack and a longer decay. Cool. I think it's a shorter decay too, though. Cool. And then there's another layer of this on there, isn't there? Ah. So there's a static note under that. There we go. It has the same velocity too, so I can just copy this, paste it, and then I can do like the tool, use a tool called a limit tool. That's that I can use to limit it just to one note, which is that A sharp. A little bit faster than that though. See. Okay, so but it's a little bit slower than that, so maybe it's like 108. Cool. So now we have this other horn. That's that tuba. And I forgot to check the cool. It's actually a trumpet, but it plays. It's used as a tuba for most of the series. But it's playing A sharps again. Dun, dun, dun. So it's playing like a 3, a third, and then it's like dun, 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 and it just kind of repeats that. And then we have another one under it. Cool. It's doing like power chords. And this can go in its own pattern. It's got to be an octave lower. Wait, I can check the notes, I think. Oh, it's actually a one note lower. It's a D. Hmm? Wait, what note? Is this the root note? Oh, it's in the root note is A, so it's actually rooted wrong. And the notes are shorter, I think. Cool. All right, and then we do what's next? That glockenspiel? So we can just copy what we did for the this one, at least the top note anyway. Yes. And the glocken, add it in. Oh, because I didn't select that. Gotta go an octave up at least. Okay, I want to have that release. I want to have all those notes, but it's like it's maxing out. So by default, FL Studio sets the max polyphony to 32, but you can change it down to like infinity. Although I'm not sure how long I want that to be because it's kind of being annoying. The That's good right there. Let me see what y'all are saying. Oh, I sent you. Oh, you sent the correct one. Nice. All right. Yes, the volume goes just like that. Okay, I managed. All right, sweet. Yeah, I don't check the chat as often as I should. How's it going? How's it going, Braden? So let me go and grab that MIDI. Then I can verify what that I've like. See, this will be a test. I can see how right it was that I transcribed everything. I'm going to save this as, okay, I can delete this last one and save this over what I have. Okay, so now if we drop the MIDI in, I want to go to the next available pattern and just okay, so we can delete these two channels and let's see, it starts out. Okay, wow, so it starts out at okay, so I was mostly right. The it's the interval is like one step. I think I was right. No, I did like two steps. So I'm just gonna copy, well no, if I copy that whole thing, I'll have to go bit by bit. So let me just look at it. Oh, but there's like a little bit of fade off here too, so so let me just copy it all. I don't have to go note by note, but whatever. Let me go 90 and then insert. Copy this. I'm gonna play the original rat while I do this. No, I don't need it. Just, how about silence? Silence is golden. Whoops. Okay, that's good. And I want that, actually that can peak at 0 actually, so, because we want that to be pretty loud. We also want it to have attack, because I think the original one has attack too. Actually, I can also just do Alt X. There we go. Okay, perfect. And then I'm not sure if I don't really think I want to copy all this again, because it already looks pretty right. Well, except for the Note, except for the note durations, let me just try and eyeball that. Give it more release if I'm going to do that. And I want them to kind of have a natural like fade. Like they don't. I don't just want them to stop. I don't want it to be like a synthesizer note and just stop. I want them to have a little bit of an envelope. So I want like they can fade out subtly and suddenly, but it has to be a little bit of a decay. There we go. And the node durations don't matter for that one because we don't care. It's got a release anyway. So for the timpani, and I think actually the note velocities are not reflected in the MIDI. They usually aren't. That's always been a thing. But let me see what the. Oh, they are reflected. Yeah, they are reflected. They just don't have them for the timpani. Dun 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 dun. Okay, so let me make a new pattern and this timpani here, and let's see. And we can use these as like a round robin thing. So let me do that. Do the same thing as I did the first with the last track that I used the timpani on. We make an empty FPC, and then I can go and oh, do these have silence on them? I have to remove the silence. Okay, so delete this. It's I think it's not refreshing. Hold on. I have to delete this because a lot of times FL Studio has problems with like refreshing things whenever you add the other one. Load empty. Okay, so we paste this line, but oh wait, it actually has a pitch on it, so I need those to be individual. So what I can do is go to select and go select more at random. Then I go back to this one and say select more at random. But it's too, it's like octaves too high. So let me see. Let me set the root notes. And this one's going to be 115 or 110. Let me make sure the pitch is right. I think it's a little bit higher. There we go, A. And let me confirm that by just going into the editor and like detecting it. Oh, it's a B actually. What? No, it's not hitting that. It must be hitting the wrong note, so I'm gonna use my ears on this one. Since I warmed up already. Yeah, there we go. And I don't want the timpanis to, the timpanis can cut each other off. That's good. Okay, so now it's time to start placing the things. So let's place the intro. And then, actually, let's place the MIDI first. And let's call this brass. No, let's call this brass lead brass. Let's call this low brass. And then the, let's see, glockenspiel. And the timpani. But the brass is kind of buried in there. And now this signal is like completely mono because none of these are like actually stereo recordings. These are it? These are mono recordings? Wow. Okay. Cool. That sounds pretty good. Resorted? Did I write restore? Oh, yeah, no, somebody else, right? Oh wow. Got a lot of Hola, amigo. What's up, Sylvie? Your work on DKC2 Mining Melancholy is the same as Still Love You See, Sword of Vermilion. Never heard of that one. Has some amazing music in it for its time. I'll check it out. Gran saludo de amigo bello. Gracias. I'm in Spain right now, actually, so tis the if there's ever a time to speak Spanish, it's now. Really enjoyed your take, your restored take on the Metroid OST. Please do recreate the Castlevania 4 OST next. We'll see. We'll see what kind of how well this one does. Can you check the pitch on the timpani again? It may need a slightly higher pitch. Let me see. Let me do another pass. Oh yeah, it is. It does need to be higher. Maybe even higher than that. Maybe it's like a G. Maybe even a little higher. That might be a half of his note. Maybe even an F sharp. Yeah, that's it. F sharp. There we go. And maybe these brass are also a little bit quieter. I don't know. It sounds good like pitch wise, but let me see. That glockenspiel needs to be louder. So does the timpani. Now is the time where I should be giving everything a mixer track. So let's see. Let's call this lead brass. Let's call this low brass. Cool. That sounds pretty good. let's mix some of that then. Um, okay, so let's give this a reverb, but not that reverb. All right. Let's give it a little bit of a hall reverb because it's like an orchestral thing. And then let's give it a exciter. This one needs a lot of it. And maybe some chorus too, just to make it feel a little bit more dynamic since it's like so static. Let's raise those. There we go. That sounds good. Cool. Now let's check out this low brass. Cool. Pretty much sounds exactly the same as the SPC, so let's now let's enhance it a bit. So let's put an exciter on it first of all. Just a little bit. This one doesn't need that much crazy stuff. Actually, it might need a saturation knob more than anything. Yeah, there we go. Because it has a lot of low elements too. And it also needs a reverb. Let's give it a little bit of chorus too, because it's kind of static. And all these choruses are going to make everything a little bit stereo because because the chorus effect by default is panned a little bit, like gives a little bit of stereo effect. So hopefully we don't get any phasing from that. Cool. Now we can go to the glockenspiel. This one is also very mono, and it shows, so put a little chorus on it. There you go. Now that makes it so much better, just hearing it in stereo. And now we can have an exciter on it. Ah, yes. Perfect. It really accentuates that those highs, like the click. Click sounds really nice. Now I want to give this one a little bit of reverb, but not too much. That's good, because if you listen to the original, I think this one didn't even have any reverb, because if you go to this one, you can tell the difference between... You can tell it's got some reverb on it. You listen closely, but this one doesn't have any, so... But it does need some reverb, so maybe it just doesn't need a lot. Maybe I can take it down to like 5%. Yeah. Yeah, so... And maybe we don't need that much release on it, because it is running, like a lot of notes are running into themselves, and that can kind of have a little blurring effect. Perfect. And then the timpani is the last bit. So we want to put a bit of chorus on there, see how that sounds. I think that might be a little bit too obvious. It's a little bit, but it's going to be worth the chorus effect in the end. And that might have a little bit of reverb on it. Even if it doesn't have any, you still want some reverb to give it some realism. So we don't want much reverb, we just want a little bit. Perfect. And let's put an exciter on that too. Actually, let's go for a saturation knob since it has some lows in it too. There we go. So if we go to the full thing, now that brass is actually clipping a bit, so... And it's got too much highs, so let me kind of take those down a bit, because I didn't account for all that, like the notes that were really high. And I still want some of those highs, I just want it to level off at the very high end. So let me do a low pass. Shit. Cool, so let me check the lows on the mix here. I want to mix them a little bit more like tubas and boost their lows a bit. There we go. And now everything can kind of get a little boost in volume. So I'm just taking down the mids a bit, and oh, I want to compress some of those highs because those highs are really sharp. Right now I'm just compressing the volume a bit so that it can kind of be more uniform and it can be louder without being so erratic on the volume. And actually this band, this multi-band compression takes care of the lead brass, so I don't really need to do all this stuff, so I can just leave it all as is. I want to live it through a bit more. But the timpani kind of has that wishy-washy effect, and I notice it in the full mix, so I kind of want to take off that chorus and just let it be mono. There we go, that sounds much better. Then I can boost the master a bit. So now I just want to do an ending. Here, let me see what people are saying. Oh, nothing. So anyway, let's make an ending. And I want to do time marker for here because it changes. And I can do like a da-da-dum, like it's a dark, like a da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So what I can do is be down to an E. Or maybe this one goes up and the rest of them go down. Da-da-da. Yeah, I like that. Maybe this one goes down because the first note is in C sharp. And then the low brass. This is going to be about as low as tubas go. And the note that we ended on, what was the note we ended on with the glockenspiel? It was like a G sharp. We ended on what with the timpani? A C sharp. So we can end on a, so we have C sharp and G sharp. That would make the next note a C. You would just need to do like this. I like that dissonance. But if the timpani is going low to a C, I have to go to a C sharp. It's going low to a C sharp. Yeah, there we go. And maybe we do da 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 dun. What was the pattern that was in the intro? No, it doesn't work with that well down that low. So let me just end it on a note. Cool. Nice. And then I can do, let's see. This part pretty much repeats itself, except for the timpani. The timpani has some different stuff going on with the articulation. So, most of this stuff I can just. Ugh. Oops, I think I clipped off the timpani. Okay. Hmm. Nice. All right. That sounds good. Someone says, this is so relaxing to watch. I love it. My sister uses the same program. We were kids who used to sit on their bed and watch him make music. Ah, good times. I've been using this program a while, and so it has a lot of memories. Let me listen to the original one more time and see if anything jumps out. Uh, I think that brass doesn't need to be as loud. Cool. That's getting better. And the low brass is a little bit too loud, I think. Nice. It's hard to tell because it changes so much as a real orchestral composition, so. Nice, I think that sounds right. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna play it for a bit. Nice, like that little ending at the end. Nice. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I think I'm gonna cut it off here because well, first off, it's late here, and I'm like 6 hours later, so I don't want to disturb other people that I live with. So I kind of want to quiet it down now, but I can get these videos out tomorrow, and then maybe Wednesday I'll do another stream, kind of because I really have no other thing to do here, so I can stream all I want. But yeah, this sounds good. These are like 3 videos that'll be out. That's actually 6 if you count the extended versions. But yeah, I'll put these I'll put MP3s in the Discord so you guys can judge them, and then let me know what you think. Uh, and so if you hear anything jumps out at you here, I'll put the Discord link in the chat. So this is where you can find the MP3s, and then I'll post those there, and you can let me know if anything stands out to you. But other than that, I think we're done for the day because I'm feeling tired. I think my sitting the wrong way or something, or my something to do. But I need to go eat, and I'm tired, so we're gonna go pick this up tomorrow, like Wednesday. It's early here in Alaska. My first live stream. Thank you. Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for coming. So I will be back probably Wednesday, I think. If not Tuesday, maybe Tuesday, but most likely Wednesday. So this is where we'll stop, and I'll see you guys next time.